Peace Center in beautiful Helena, Montana, and that's no exaggeration today. It's beautiful sunny skies for those of you out-of-towners tuning in, but we appreciate you taking the time to listen to this Frontier Conference doubleheader, of course, getting started with the women's game. Like I said, Carroll women 11-5 in conference play this season, tied for first place with Western, but the Bulldogs do have the hammer, so the Saints hoping for a couple wins this week and hoping for a loss from the Bulldogs this weekend. I believe they have Tech and Rocky at their place. And as we look at Providence, they're 8-8, and they've had a very up and down season, but we know what they're capable of. And Coach Turcotte, as I bring you back in, you look at this matchup right now. The Saints, you could say they need a win. They've sealed their position as a national tournament team already, but they want to go for that number 1 seed in the conference tournament and be able to host throughout. I think if you look at the keys to the game for the Saints, I think it really starts with how they rebound, because the last few games, they've dominated the glass, and they, like I mentioned earlier, they had over 12 offensive rebounds last game at LC State against a team who had them outmatched as far as height and length. But one thing they've really been doing well is that tip drill on the offensive glass where they pull it back out and get the long rebounds. That led to Danny Wagner with 11 rebounds as a guard last weekend. I think rebounding is going to be so pivotal, especially when you have a matchup with a player like Parker Essery.
Well, it's a very good point. The offensive rebounds are a big part of what separates Carroll from the pack. They don't maybe have as much pure shooters, pure offensive firepower as some of the other teams, but those hustle plays that they make. But a big factor tonight, Daniel, is Bailey Cartwright, the 6'1" senior power forward for Providence.
She's killed us.
She's got the flu, and she will not play. Coach Bill Himmelberg just informed me that she does have a temperature, and just to be safe, they're not going to have her play tonight. And so they're starting small. Instead of the 6'1" Bailey Cartwright, they'll be starting Kirsten Pemberton, who is a good guard, a good shooter, but she's 5'5". I mean, that's a lot of size for them to be given up against a team that rebounds like Carroll does. And to be honest with you, Bailey Cartwright is just a really good player. I mean, one of the best players in the league.
And as we look at this matchup, things winding down here in the pregame show, but I think we can go ahead and put an emphasis. I think this is the biggest game up to this point of the season for Coach Sayers and this team. And I think the crowd's starting to funnel in. People are getting off work and heading to the PE Center. I think we're going to have a great environment here for both games tonight.
Well, we really will. There's a lot on the line for Carroll. Assuming that Carroll wins out, that Western wins out, and LC wins out, there'll be a three-way tie for first place. We'll be co-champs. So Carroll's got to take care of business. If Western loses one of those games and Carroll wins out, Carroll will be champs all by themselves. But it's a big game, and it's a big rivalry.
We're going to go ahead and take one more break, but when we come back, it's the Saints and it's the Argos here from the PE Center as you're listening to Carroll College Basketball here on Rewind 94.9 and KCAP.com. Tip-off is next. Daniel Sal and Gary Turcotte here bringing you Carroll College Fighting Saints basketball as we have a Frontier Conference doubleheader between the University of Providence Argos and the Carroll College Fighting Saints as we get ready for tip-off of Game 1 in this big-time doubleheader. Go ahead and meet the starting lineups. First for University of Providence, starting at guard, a 5'5 junior out of Sunnyside, Washington, Emily Maldonado. Joining her in the backcourt is the sharpshooter, a 5'7 senior guard out of Olympia, Washington, number 4, Jenna Randich. Joining them in the starting lineup is Kennedy Cartwright, a 5'11 sophomore guard out of Pasco, Washington. And she's joined also by Kirsten Pemberton, 5'5 junior guard out of Belt, Montana. And rounding it out, the go-to in the middle of the post for this Argos offense, Parker Essery, a 6'1 junior post player out of Kalama, Washington. And looking at the starters for the Fighting Saints, starting at guard, a 5'9 junior out of Havre, Montana, Danny Wagner, a player who's coming off of 2 big games, someone I thought maybe was going to have a chance at Frontier Conference Player of the Week last week. Joining her in the backcourt is Camden Hilborn, a 5'7 sophomore guard out of Clancy, Montana. Helena High grad by way of Montana State University. She'll be wearing number 22. Also at guard, a 5'9 sophomore out of 9 Mile Falls, Washington, number 23, Sienna Swanek. Playing forward, wearing number 10, a 5'9 junior out of Fairfield, Washington, Christine Denny. And rounding it out, playing in the post, the senior, who we're going to be celebrating quite a bit tomorrow night, the transfer from Boise State, the graduate of Bozeman High School, and the starting 5 spot on this Carroll team, number 44, Emerald Toth. And Coach Turcotte, as I bring you back in and we get ready for tip-off here, you can't ask for a much better atmosphere here in the PE Center. You got fans on their feet, and you got 2 good teams getting ready to battle it out. But before we get into the action, touching back on what you mentioned before we took our last break, Bailey Cartwright not playing, that could create a huge advantage for this Carroll team.
Well, it might, but a lot of times somebody else is going to step up. And, I talked to Coach Bill Himmelberg before, and that's what he said. Somebody else is going to have to step up. And that's why it's a team game. Yeah, certainly they're going to miss Bailey Cartwright, but they've got a lot of talent on that team, a lot of girls, and they've got some girls that can come off the bench and play well tonight. And, I would expect that they'll step up and they'll give a good effort. A
lot of talent on this Providence team, including that point guard, Emily Maldonado, who's picked preseason to be the Conference Player of the Year. Interested to see how that shakes out when they come out with the all-conference teams. But it's time for tip-off. We'll have Kennedy Cartwright going toe-to-toe with Sienna Swanek, number 23 versus number 23 here for the tip. Carroll will be going right to left, wearing their gray uniforms, purple numbers, gold trim. Providence going left to right, wearing their road navy blue uniforms, gray numbers, green trim, looking like the Seattle Seahawks out there. As the Saints win the tip, get it across the court. Denny gets it over to Swanek from the wing. They swing it around up to Danny Wagner. It goes back to Denny. Denny at the top of the key, setting up the offense for the Saints. She gets it back to Wagner. Wagner crosses over on Pemberton, takes it to the hole, goes up with the shot, and draws the foul. So Danny Wagner will go to the line to shoot 2 to start this ball game.
And that's a matchup with Pemberton on Danny Wagner, and Danny's got size on her. Pemberton only 5'5", Danny's 5'9", and Danny took advantage of that right off the bat.
As Danny Wagner steps to the line, don't forget Carroll basketball is brought to you in part by your Montana Toyota dealers. John Lagerquist, Realtor with Century 21. To experience relentless excellence in your real estate transactions, call John Lagerquist at Century 21. And Rucker's Furniture. Make the quality choice for your home at Rucker's Furniture. Danny Wagner steps to the stripe, knocks down both free throws, and that'll give the Saints a 2-0 lead with 9:35 left here in the first half. Correction, first quarter. Gotta get that right. Emily Maldonado taking it up the court for Providence to set up the offense. She works to that far wing, swings it across. With it is Cartwright now. Cartwright goes back over looking for Randich. Randich almost goes out of bounds and gets it over to Pemberton. Pemberton back to Cartwright. Cartwright guarded by Denny, takes a step back jumper, rolls off the rim, no good. Tipped out by Toth, rebounded by Hilborn, and Hilborn is off to the races, coming up the near side. She works her way back to the middle of the court, now she'll slow it down, set up the offense. She passes off to Denny. Denny, guarded by Cartwright at the top of the key. She rolls over to the elbow, gets it out to Swanek. Swanek on the wing. Middle of the court, Swanek has it, gets it out to Wagner. Wagner goes back to Christine Denny. Shot clock down to 10 for the Saints. Denny drives, puts her body on the line, puts up a shot, misses it, gets her own rebound, and as she gets to the rebound and tries to put another one up, she draws another foul. That'll send Christine Denny to the line to shoot 2. Saints get into the line early in this ball game.
And that's the second foul on Pemberton, so she'll have to leave. And Hazard will come in. The thing about Pemberton is that she could play the points. Carroll is denying Maldonado the inbounds pass, so she runs and plays the 2 guard. And with Pemberton out of the ball game now, when Carroll does that, Hazard will have to bring the ball up and run the offense. We'll see how she does.
Like you mentioned, Reed Hazard in the game for Pemberton. Denny makes her first and makes her second. And the Saints lead 4-0 early in this ballgame on the Capital Collision Center scoreboard. All 4 coming at the free throw line. Emily Maldonado gets the inbound. Her pocket is picked by Hilborn. Hilborn finds Christine Denny slashed to the hoop. Another quick bucket for the Saints, and don't look now, but they're up 6-0. 8:30 left here in the first quarter. Taking up the court this time for the Argos, it'll be Jenna Randich, and a quick bucket for Randich as she takes it in and puts it up for 2. 8:20 left. It's now 6-2 as Providence gets their first points of the ball game. Wagner up the court. She goes to Swanek on the middle. Swanek takes a step over, takes the 3 off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Cartwright. She gets it out to Maldonado, and Maldonado will take it up the court for the Argos. Maldonado over to the top of the key. She goes to Cartwright. They swing it back into Essery. Essery kicks it out. Here's a pull-up jumper, and that one is no good. That shot was up by Cartwright, and it's rebounded by Denny. Denny takes it all the way up, gets it outside to Wagner. Wagner goes to the center of the court to Hilborn. Hilborn now to Swanek. Swanek gets it to Toth. Toth with the handoff to Denny. She drives, puts it up. No good. A little too close to the hoop there. She hit it off the bottom of the rim. Now loose ball skirmish ends up in the hands of the Argos, and Emily Maldonado will take it up the court. And it looks like we got
they got a foul
on Toth, yeah. So that's the first personal foul on Toth, first team foul on the Saints. It'll lead to a baseline inbounds play for the Argos. It's a 6-2 Carroll lead on the Capital Collision Center scoreboard with 7.5 minutes left here in the first quarter. Inbounding, it's Cartwright. Cartwright goes over the top, looking for Hazard, finds her. Hazard works to the wing. Looks to find Maldonado, finally does going baseline. Maldonado goes up and under with a reverse. It's rebounded by Essery. Essery with a spin move out of a double team, puts it off the glass and knocks it down.
That's a great move. You bet. That is very tough to do.
6-4, the Saints in the lead. 7 minutes even left on the clock here in the first quarter. Swanek working to the middle of the floor, goes to the wing to Wagner. Wagner takes it up, drives in, and pulls it back, kicks it out to Toth. Toth pump fakes. Posts up on Essery. Spin move by Toth. Nice move off the glass and good for 2. And I tell you, Coach, Emerald Toth continues to get better every game.
I have not seen her do that, to bounce it that many times and make a step-through move.
Very nicely done by Emerald Toth. 8-4, the Saints lead. Taking it up is Reed Hazard. Like you mentioned, Maldonado, they're denying ball after they get a bucket in that full court defense, so Hazard will take it up. She works to the left wing, guarded by Hilborn now. Pass it off to Randich. Randich guarded by Wagner. Looks to drive in, pulls up for a mid-range jumper and knocks it down for 2. Hard fall for Randich there. Got tangled up on the box out by Wagner, but nonetheless she gets the bucket. 8-6. Saints lead by 2. Hilborn taking it coast to coast, leading the charge for the Saints. She goes to the wing. Swanek has it now. Swanek works her way over to the middle of the floor. Gets it over to Hilborn. 13 on the shot clock now. Hilborn takes the 3 off the rim, no good. And a skirmish for the offensive rebound. It ends up rolling outside back to Hilborn. It's Hilborn. Little contact there by Maldonado, but she passed it over to Denny. Denny, top of the key, hands it off to Swanek. Swanek thinks about the 3, dribbles it, gets bounced outside. 9 on the shot clock. Saints got to figure something out. Coach Sayers calls out an ISO. Christine Denny will get the pick at the top of the key. Work to the elbow. 2 seconds left. Swanek's got to get it off. She does. Got it! Sienna Swanek from downtown. And just a reminder that 3 and all other 3s tonight made by the Saints will be sponsored by Jolene Fusezzi Lloyd, I should say. We're with Century 21, one of the greatest three-point shooters to ever do it at any level.
Daniel,
she's lucky enough to sponsor us.
Real good shot clock awareness there by Carroll. We've talked about that being an area they needed to improve, and they really had nice awareness there.
Very nicely done by the Saints as they take an 11-6 lead. 5:20 left in the first quarter. Randich gets it up the court and goes to Hazard. Hazard has it on the wing, guarded by Swanek. Hazard drives into the middle, gets a screen from Essery. Swanek gets around it, though. She gets it out to Cartwright. Cartwright pump fakes, doesn't fool Denny. She drives, puts it up, and that one's off the glass. A nice shot around Christine Denny to knock it down for 2, and it's back to a 3-point game. 11-8, the Saints lead. Hilborn up the court. Almost loses her dribble. Picks it up. Maddie Garrett's now in the game. She checked in for Toth. Hilborn gets it into Garrett. She gets it back out to Swanek. Swanek with it in the corner. Works her way towards the top. Gets it over to Wagner. Wagner goes back into Swanek. Swanek spin move, pivot, off the glass, no good. Rebound Garrett's off the glass, and that one is good. Maddie Garrett's cleaning up the trash on the glass there, putting it in for 2. The Saints take another 5-point lead, 13-8 with 4.5 minutes left here in the first half. Pull up 3 on the other end from Randich. That hits off the rim, and that one rolls in.
Well, she's feeling it. She is feeling it.
Oh, my gosh.
That's, 7 points for her already.
13-11. And like you said, Randich was 7 of the 11 points for the Argos. Hilborn gets it across, gets it over to Wagner. Wagner on the near wing, gets a screen from Denny. Wagner drives, puts one up with her right, and that one's blocked. Nice help defense by Randich. She gets the rebound, hustles up the court. She gets it out to the wing. Cartwright passes it over to Maldonado, and Maldonado will set up the offense. She gets it to Hazard here on the near wing. Hazard goes back to Maldonado. They swing it around. Randich wide open in the corner for 3. Oh, I cannot believe she missed that. Yeah. Rebounded by the Argos nonetheless, and Maldonado has it up top again. She drives, picked up by Garrett on the help defense, dumps it off in a pick and roll to Essery, and Essery finishes, and it's tied once again 13-13 with 3.5 minutes left here in the first quarter.
Maldonado is a very, very elusive point guard. That time she really made a little drop-off pass.
Denny at the top of the key finds a cutting Swanek, and Swanek puts it off the glass, and good for 2.
Nice
and the
back
Saints
screen.
take another lead.
Nice back screen by Maddie Garrett's there to set that up for a wide open layup.
15-13, 3:13 left in the first quarter. Randich takes it up the court, goes to the wing, 3-pointer up from Cartwright. That's off the back rim, no good. Wagner pulls it down, gets it out on the outlet to Hilborn, and Hilborn will take it up the floor for the Saints. Hilborn to Garrett's at the top of the key. Garrett's goes to Denny. Denny working it back to the middle. Hilborn gives it back to Denny. Denny drives up the side of the key, puts it off the glass, and a lot of contact. That's a miss. Ooh. Rebounded by Providence, and Denny probably wished she was at the line shooting too, but Providence takes it down, and Essery finds a backdoor cutting Cartwright. 4-2, and this game just like that is tied once again. Coach Sayers will call a timeout. That'll get extended to a media timeout, so we'll take it as well. 15-15, the Argos and the Saints are tied. Final 2.5 of the first coming up here on Rewind 94.9 and KCAP.com. Back from the break, it's Daniel Sally here, joined by the Hall of Famer Coach Gary Turcotte. 15-15, the Saints and the Argos tied on the Capital Collision Center scoreboard with 2 minutes and 33 seconds left in the first quarter in what's been an outstanding ball game. And Coach, I wanted to touch back on something you said earlier, that big 3 from Swanek at the end of the shot clock. Shot clock awareness, something we've talked about all season. That's a big step in the right direction if the Saints can figure that out.
It really is. They've gotten a lot better. And also, one other thing I would say, Daniel, Jenna Randich, the senior 2 guard for the Argos, she's on fire. You know,
gosh,
she really is.
I can't believe she missed that 1-3 from the corner.
Yeah, Danny Wagner is going to have to play her a lot tighter. I think the Argos just jumped into a zone here, and they play kind of a 1-1-3 zone, similar to what Carroll plays. And I think they jumped into a zone here. We'll have to see.
Jaden Lyman freshly subbed in for the Saints, running the point. Providence falling back into their zone defense. Also in the game now is Salonen. Out of the timeout, it's McDermott, Garretts, Salonen, Lyman, and Wagner. Salonen with it up top. Looking forward to celebrating Taylor tomorrow night. It is senior night here at the PE Center. Don't forget, Maddie Garretts Working it to the top of the key. It's Jaden Lyman now. Lyman goes to Sloan, and Sloan's cutting. Nice find from Sloan, and Garrett's pump fakes off the glass with an easy 2. And Taylor Salonen playing a little distributor role there as the Saints take the lead back 17-15. 1:56 left in the first quarter. Driving to the hoop on the other end is Hazard. She puts it off the glass. Nice shot there by Reed Hazard to get the 2 points and tie it back up at 17 apiece.
And now Coach Bill Himmelberg told me they are really playing well, and he did not exaggerate. They are playing well. Those are tough. Some of those buckets are tough buckets that they're making.
Two of the most on-fire teams in the conference going at it tonight. We got it here for you as Danny Wagner takes it up, drives in, kicks out to Lyman. Three-pointer from Lyman, no good. Tipped back by Salonen, and there's that tip drill I talked about. The Saints have become offensive rebounding masterminds. Taking it up, setting up the offense again is Lyman. Lyman guarded by Maldonado at the top of the key. He goes over to the wing. Wagner has it now. Wagner over to Salonen up top. Salonen takes it off the dribble, guarded by Cartwright. She loses it. It's picked out and stolen by the Argos. With it is Brooklyn Harn, who takes it up the court. She goes to the wing. Inside they go to Essery. Garretts tries to knock loose the entry pass, but a little too much contact there. Foul called on Garretts. That'll be the second team foul on the Saints, and Providence will inbound from the baseline.
And Maddie has to be careful because she's playing well, and she can't get in foul trouble. And I like what Coach Sayers did there. She got a first foul. Sit her down because you can't let her. She's playing well enough. You'd like to have her around the second half and not be worried about foul trouble.
Cartwright inbounds inside. The Argos go up and under, and a layup is good that time. Reed Hazard, and she's shown her stuff off the bench so far in this ball game.
Playing well.
19-17. The Red Hot Argos take the lead back. 45 seconds left here in the first quarter. Christine Denny takes it up the key, and as Lyman's cutting across the middle, she draws the foul. That'll be the third foul, and that one's on Kennedy Cartwright. Saints will inbound from the baseline. It's Jaden Lyman, 20 on the shot clock, 43 on the game clock. Lyman goes to the block to Denny. She goes back out to Lyman for 3. Got it! Jaden Lyman knocking it down.
Nice inside-outside pass by Christine Denny.
20-19, the Saints take that lead right back. 30 seconds left on the game clock, 25 on the shot clock, and Wagner steals the entry pass, and she's wasting no time as she hurries up the court and then pulls it back out to the wing, gives it to Denny. Denny will get it to Lyman, and Lyman will set up the offense for the Saints. 15 seconds left on the game clock here in the first quarter. Saints will likely play for a nice shot here to end the quarter on a high note. Toth has it on the elbow, gets it to Wagner. 8 seconds left. Wagner step back 3. Yes! Danny Wagner knocking it down. She is on fire for the Saints. Providence inbounds it. Full court pass up, but it's shot up, and it's after the buzzer. So your score after one, Carroll College 23, University of Providence 19. When we come back, we'll have the second quarter action for you right here on your home for the Saints. Rewind 94.9 and KCAP.com. Back from the timeout, Daniel Sally and Gary Turcotte here inside the Cochran Insurance broadcast booth as the Carroll Fighting Saints and the Argos are in a battle here. 23-19, Carroll in the lead at the end of the first quarter. And Coach Turcotte, like we were just touching on during the break, this is high-quality basketball being played right now.
Both teams are playing extremely efficiently, especially at the offensive end. One thing, Daniel, I want to point out is that with Bailey Cartwright homesick with the flu, Parker Essery, their tremendous all-conference post player, did not come out that first quarter. And they really don't have a substitute for her. We got to keep track of how many minutes she plays. She's much more fit than she was last year. but I don't know how many minutes she can play. She can't play 40 minutes. Sooner or later, they're going to have to give her some rest.
Inbounding the ball out of the break will be Kennedy Cartwright. Like we mentioned, Bailey Cartwright not playing tonight, but Kennedy still in the lineup for the Argos. She inbounds it to Maldonado, who takes up the floor to start the second quarter. Maldonado over the wing. Randage finds Essery inside. Essery pump fakes, goes up with it. She'll be fouled before putting up the second shot, though, and that'll be on the floor. First team foul early in this second quarter for the Saints, and it'll be Providence inbounding from the baseline.
It's hard to believe she got that open.
They've had eyes on her.
Yeah.
High ball screen, though, and Toth got sucked in. So out of the inbound, it's a runner by Kennedy Cartwright. That's no good. Rebounded by Denny. Denny will get it across the court quickly. She drives, kicks to Wagner. Wagner thinks about the shot. I'll tell you, when she gets on, she's confident shooting that outside three. Lyman running point, goes to Wagner again. Wagner near wing, goes to the elbow to Denny. Denny works towards the elbow again, and she looks outside for Lyman. Lyman doesn't let it go across half court, though. Nice hustle play. And Lyman picks up her dribble, gets it to Denny. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Denny from about 40 feet, and that hits off the rim, and Wagner can't get the long rebound. So there's that shot clock awareness coming back to bite the Saints. 9:05 left here in the second quarter, and Providence has it again. They trail 23-19. Driving is Cartwright. She goes up and under. Little scoop shot is no good, but McDermott's called for the foul. That'll send her to the line to shoot two.
Yeah, that's a weak call. I mean, that's a very good official that made it. He knows more about it than I do, but that's a scoop shot. The defensive player, Molly McDermott, was vertical straight up, and she scooped it underneath and initiated the contact.
There's only so much you can do there if you're Molly. As Cartwright steps the line and makes her first. 23-20, now a 3-point ball game here from the PE Center. 9 minutes left in the second quarter. Cartwright steps the line, puts up her second, and she knocks it down. So that makes it a 2-point game, 23-21 in favor of the Saints. Camden Hilborn gets it up the court. Denny gets it back to Hilborn. Now Swanek with it. Swanek working to the top of the key. Passes off to the newly checked in Emma Madsen. Madsen goes to Denny again. Denny, Swanek, now Hilborn. Shot clock down to 10. Hilborn goes over the top for Madsen. Madsen looking to tip it to herself like she's Randy Moss, but she draws the contact, and the Saints will inbound from the baseline. I believe they got Maldonado with a little tugging of the jersey there. Inbounding will be Hilborn from the baseline, and the Saints shot clock gets bumped back up to a fresh 20 seconds. Hilborn to inbound again. She gets it to Madsen. Madsen drives in, picks up her dribble, gets it out to Hilborn. Hilborn to Swanek now. Swanek, top of the key, finds Denny. Denny pump fakes, drives off the glass, and that one's good. Christine Denny taking him off the dribble.
Just a beautiful move by Christine there.
25-21, Saints lead by 4. And quickly to the other end, Cartwright gets an entry pass, puts it off the glass and good, so it's back and forth.
The Argos pushed the ball on made buckets, and that time it paid off for them.
Camden Hilborn setting up the offense now for the Saints. She goes to Toth. Toth hands it off to Madsen and sets the pick. Madsen drives up with her left. Oh, and I thought she's going to get the and one there. However, she does get the foul. Emma Madsen with a nice look from a runner. She'll go to the line to shoot 2 points.
And I think that's on Parker.
Will that be her second? Only her first. So Madsen will step to the line, and as she does so, just a reminder, Carroll Basketball is brought to you by First Community Bank, working together for you. Placer Motors, your Helena Subaru dealers. Placer Motors, family owned for over 75 years. And Capital Collision Center. Montana state law says it's your vehicle and your choice where to have it repaired. Choose Capital Collision Center. Emma Madsen stepped in the line after making the first. Her second free throw is up, and she knocks it down. Providence will inbound it as the Saints take back the 4-point lead, 27-23, 8 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. It'll be Randich with it out of the inbounds. She gets it up top. Argos beat the press, entry pass. Essery's wide open, puts it off the glass, and that's good for 2. And the Argos get those 2 right back. 27-25 is the score. Saints in the lead. Hilborn, up the floor she goes. She gets it off to the near wing. Swanek with it now. Swanek gets it off to Denny. Denny takes the dribble, steps back from the elbow, and she knocks it down. Christine Denny is killing the game right now.
The Argos are playing pretty soft on the ball, almost daring Carroll to take those jump shots. That time, Christine, that's a pretty high percentage shot that she got there, right there.
29-25, and Christine Denny proving again why she's one of the best players in this conference. Argos get it up. Essery takes it inside, kicks it out to Maldonado. Her three is up. That's no good. Long rebound brought down by Pemberton, and Christine Denny is called for the foul on Pemberton. That'll be on the floor, but something to watch. That is the third team foul in this quarter, and second on Denny.
Yeah.
We're only at the 7-minute mark of the second quarter. Denny's going to have to go spend some time on the bench, and we're so close to the bonus, and it's already the 7-minute mark.
Well, Christine sometimes gets a little tired, and that's when she'll make a silly foul. That was a silly foul there. She's got to be real careful.
Inbounding the ball for Providence. It's Cartwright. She gets to Maldonado. Maldonado at the top of the key, running the point for the Argos. She's picked up by Garrett. She passes it off to the wing. Randich has it now, guarded by Madsen. Randich looks to drive, looks over the top. It's tipped out by Garrett, stolen by Salone, and the Saints have it back. Maddie Garrett's good front there on Essery. Hilborn takes that, passes it to the wing to Garrett. She goes back to Hilborn. Hilborn now to Swanwick. Swanwick takes the jab step and drives over by Hazard. They find Madsen. Madsen rifles it back into Swanwick. Swanwick, a little dream shake off the glass, and that one's good. Sienna Swanwick showing off her post move as she knocks down the two, and the Saints take back a 6-point lead, matching their highest of the game with 6:29 left here in the second quarter.
And then another foul there on the press. Camden reached in and fouled. That, like you say, that's 14 fouls already.
6:25 left in the second quarter. Not a great position to be in here and getting close to the bonus. Randich takes up the court, works it over to Maldonado. Maldonado back to Randich. Randich jump step, puts it up, no good off the pump fake. It's rebounded by Swanwick, and the Saints have it back. They lead by 6, a little over 6 minutes left. Swanwick goes coast to coast, picks up her dribble, pump fakes, little spin move, no good. Salonen goes for the rebound, and a foul will be called on the Saints.
I think they were just out of bounds, just an out of bounds.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay, well, I'm glad I was wrong on that one, because the Saints couldn't afford another foul there.
Parker Essery just came out now, and she's such a big part of what they do. And Ellie Teskey, 6-foot junior from Yakima, who I haven't seen play much.
We have not seen her yet this season. So it'll be interesting to see how the Saints approach that as they lead 31-25. Providence takes up the court. Randis gets it to Maldonado. Maldonado on the wing. She drives by Madsen, kicks it out. Here's the move by Cartwright, little hook shot again.
Now that's the second time they bailed them out on that. That's what can you say? It's just weak.
A scoop shot.
It's a scoop shot with almost no chance of going in, and the Carroll player is vertical, and you scoop it underneath the hands, and they've called foul.
It's Emma Madsen's
that's
first personal foul.
Yeah.
5th team foul on the Saints. So if Providence gets fouled for the rest of this quarter, they'll be shooting, and their first free throw is up and good there from Cartwright. 5:43 left. Next free throw up, and that one's good. Salonen will inbound, and Hilborn will take it up the court now for the Saints. Hilborn.
And they're back. They jump back into the zone here. The Argos did.
Hilborn goes to Garrett's on the elbow. Garrett's gets it out to Madsen, who drives backdoor pass. Madsen. Garrett's off the glass and good for 2. And what a nice feed there from Emma Madsen.
Yeah, she's playing well.
33-27. The Saints lead. 5 minutes and 20 seconds left in the half.
Emma was hurt earlier in the year and is just starting to play well.
Cartwright down on the other end. Spin move, drives into the key. Ball tipped out by Salonen. Cartwright gets it back. Turnaround jumper from Cartwright is no good. Salonen gets the rebound and gets it up to Hilborn. Hilborn drives, goes coast to coast, off the glass, no good. Garrett fights for the long rebound, goes to the ground. Now Hilborn gets it. Hilborn gets knocked to the ground, hits off Maldonado, goes out of bounds, and the Saints will keep it on the baseline.
And Essery she was out about a minute, and she's back in.
Well, she's going to be out another minute because we got a media timeout, so we're going to take a break. 33-27, the Saints lead. You're listening to Carroll Basketball here on Rewind 94.9. Back from the timeout, Daniel Sally joined by the Hall of Famer Gary Turcotte. And before the teams take the court and we return to action, I just want to let you all know former Carroll College football player and four-time national champion, current doctor of physical therapy over at Ascension PT, Jeff Shirley, one of the best guys in this Helena community, has gotten some bad news this past week, diagnosed with leukemia last Friday. He's now in Seattle getting chemo treatment. If you want to support the cause, if you know Jeff, he's a great guy, go to GoFundMe.com, search Jeff Shirley's leukemia battle. You'll find their GoFundMe page. There's already been over $88,000 raised in the last 48 hours. Looking to continue to move that number up as Jeff fights his battle.
88,000? 8,800.
88,000.
88,000.
The goal was 75,000 on there, and they passed it already.
My goodness.
Back from the timeout, Lyman inbounds it to Wagner. Wagner at the top of the key. He gets it up to Lyman. Lyman off to Slonin now. Slonin to Wagner. Danny Wagner working on the top of the key, rocks it back, gets it to Toth. 5 on the shot clock for the Saints. Swanek gets a screen from Toth. She drives, floater from Swanek, and that one is good. Sienna Swanek, the ability she has to stop on a dime and knock down those mid-range shots.
And she can hang.
Yes, she can.
Not a lot of women basketball players can hang like she can.
35-27. Saints lead by 8. Now their largest lead of the ball game. Hazard on the other end, taking Salonen off the dribble. She picks it up on the block, dumps it off to Essery. Essery goes up and under. Backdoor pass. Up with it and good is Brittany White, a junior out of Kirkland, Washington. And what a nice feed from Essery.
Great pass by Essery. Yeah, she's showing why she's been, she's a candidate for Player of the Year. She's showing us why. Lyman
takes up the court. Now Wagner with it, and a moving screen called on Emerald Toth. That'll be a turnover, and getting the ball back will be the Argos. And like I mentioned, this story about Jeff Shirley, we're going to have a little interview with his former head coach, Mike Van Diest, coming on at the halftime show. I got to speak to Coach about Jeff, and he'll tell some Jeff Shirley stories and give you his perspective on the situation. So at halftime, this halftime show brought to you by Kevin Dunn and Terry White, financial advisors at Dunn Financial Solutions. We'll be hearing from Mike Van Diest. 35-21, Saints in the lead now with just 3:50 left here in the second quarter. A missed jumper by Essery, and Wagner pulls down the rebound, and the Saints are off to the races once again. Danny Wagner drives, puts it off the glass, and what a move by Danny Wagner. Switching hands there like Michael Jordan and flicking it up.
With her weak hand and got a good angle.
37-29, Carroll's lead back up to 8. Providence pushes up the court again. Pemberton has it now. Pemberton, guarded by Wagner, picks up her dribble at the top of the key, swings it over to the left side. With it now is Hazard. Hazard off the dribble, puts it up, and Swanek takes flight, knocks it loose, and it's stolen by Lyman. Lyman is off to the races, finds Swanek in transition, tips it out to Wagner. Wagner pump fakes, gets to Swanek, open look for 3, and that one's no good, goes long, rebounded by Essery. Outlet pass from Essery to Maldonado. Maldonado will take it up the court now for the Argos. And that one's tipped out by Wagner. Another steal by Lyman, who corrals the ball. Lyman up the court. Her land's no good. And a fight for the rebound. Swanek gets the
great
offensive
hustle plays
rebound.
by Swanek at both ends. Just great hustle plays.
Saints already with 5 offensive rebounds tonight out of their 12 total. Salonen off the top of the key, gives it to Lyman. Lyman works it to Wagner on the near wing. Wagner drives a little hezzy move. She puts up a runner, no good. Garretts tries to get the offensive rebound, but it hits off her hand, goes out of bounds, and Providence will get it back. Genesis Wilkinson checking in for the Saints. She's going to give them some minutes off the bench.
Oh, my goodness.
She's not someone we've seen a whole lot of this year.
She's played very little. But
Wilkinson, freshman out of Newman Lake, Washington, East Valley High School.
She's a talent.
Part of that Eastern Washington pipeline. Coach Sayers finding a lot of talent over in that area. Taking up the court for the Saints, it's Cartwright. Cartwright gets the pass back from White, gets it over to Maldonado. Maldonado guarded by Swanek. 10 on the shot clock now for the Argos. Randich goes inside to Essery. Essery posts up on Wilkinson. Little spin move. Nice defense on the shot there by Wilkinson. It's rebounded by Salonen. Salonen gets it out to Lyman, and Lyman will take it up the court for the Saints. Jaden Lyman working her way to the right side. Gets it to Wilkinson. Wilkinson passes it off to Swanek. Swanek goes to Lyman. Lyman inside. Wilkinson spin move up with it. That one's no good, but a nice move by Wilkinson. She draws the contact, and she will step to the line to shoot 2.
Well, I love it. Here she comes in, plays a good defensive play, and then she posts up hard and draws a foul on the Argos' best player. That's
good
2
minutes
fouls
for Wilkinson, and just speaks volumes about the depth of this team as she steps to the line to take her first free throw. That one's up and good.
And then she makes a free throw.
Yes.
And usually freshmen don't make that free throw in this situation.
You gotta love to see this. It's great, and I'm sure Coach there is very happy. I know Jen, one of those players who's been traveling with the team all season, just has seen very limited action, and she knocks them both down. Nice looking free throw shot there. Providence with it back now. The Saints lead by 10, a game-high lead for Carroll. Randich will rush it up the court for the Argos. Drive around baseline, put it up off the glass, and good for two. Jenna Randich knocks it down.
I could see that one coming.
She's got 9 points now, so she had been held at 7 for a while. It was only a matter of time before she got back on.
She's a senior. Ooh.
Swanek gets away with a push-off. She takes the three, no good. Rebounded by Cartwright, but a nice step-back move there. A little contact, but no foul. And Maldonado will take it down to the other end for the Argos. She gets it to Cartwright, top of the key. Cartwright is defended by Taylor Salonen. Cartwright dribbles it off her foot, loses control, gets it back. Salonen with the hustle to get it, and a travel is called on Cartwright as Salonen and Wagner just chased her down after that loose ball.
So those are 50-50 balls, Daniel. And either, by that I mean either girl could get it, and the Saints just wanted that one a little bit more. 50-50 and hustle could get you a lot of loose balls.
Travel called there after the loose ball on the Argos after the pressure on the trap from Salonen and Wagner. Lyman takes it up. Salonen backdoor cut. Wagner gets it and puts it in, and that's that Laker cut you know and love. 41-31. The Saints take the lead back by 10. Randich hurries up the court. She's picked up by Wagner. Goes out to Maldonado. Maldonado looking to drive. Goes up with it. Off the glass, no good. Nice box out by Wilkinson. Wagner gets the rebound, and the Saints have it back. Lyman up the court. Finds the trailing Wagner. Step back three from Wagner. Yes! Danny Wagner knocks it down. She continues her hot streak as she's got 12 points in the first half right now. 25 seconds left here before halftime. The Saints now lead by 13, 44-31. They are on fire. Up the court is Cartwright. 15 on the shot clock. About a half a second difference between the shot clock and game clock. Randich backdoor pass finds White. White knocks it down. Saints have 7 seconds. Salonen inbounds it. Lyman will get it up the court. 5 seconds now for the Saints. She gets up to Wagner. Wagner takes it back, takes the three. Off the rim, no good. At the half, your score, Carroll College 44, Providence 33, an 11-point Saints lead. And when we come back, it'll be the Carroll Halftime Show brought to you by Kevin Dunn Financial Solutions. We'll talk to Mike Van Dies. We'll break down the game and much more here on your home for the Saints, Rewind 94.9 and KCAP.com. The Saints halftime. Carroll Halftime Show brought to you by Kevin Dunn and Terry White, financial advisors at Dunn Financial Solutions. Daniel Sally joined by the Hall of Famer Coach Gary Turcott. Real quickly, we'll take a look at the stats. Right now, Providence 14 of 26 shooting, 53%. Carroll 50% shooting, but they're 16 of 32. 4 of 11 from the three for the Saints, and those 4 made three-pointers are sponsored by Jolene Lloyd at Century 21. She'll be donating half the proceeds to the Carroll SAA and the other half to a local Helena charity. I believe right now it's still Family Promise of Greater Helena, and they're doing great things over there at Family Promise. And continuing to look down the line from the free throw line, both teams 100%. Providence 4 for 4 and Carroll 8 for 8. I know Coach Sayers has been wanting her team to get to the line a little more, and Carroll out-rebounding Providence 15-12. 6 of those offensive rebounds for Carroll, and that's just part of that is the effect of Cartwright not playing for the Argos. Looking at individual numbers, leading all scorers with the game high is Danny Wagner with 12 points. Leading the Argos is Kennedy Cartwright with 10. And for the Saints, some other high scores, Christine Denny with 8, Maddie Garrett's with 6, Sienna Swanek with 9, and for the Argos, Jenna Randich with 9, 6 points from Parker Essery, 4 from Reed Hazard, and 4 from Brittany White. As I bring Coach Turcott back in, Coach, we see the 11-point lead for the Saints once again. What's the key for Carroll to hold on to that lead?
Well, it's always the first 3 minutes of the second half. Carroll's had an 11-point lead several times, and teams have come storming back the second half. I don't know what the number is, about 11, but the philosophy of the Argos at this point is to really get the ball inside. They've only taken 4 threes. Carroll has taken 11. They want to pound it inside. What they do really well, 2 things the Argos do is they run well, and the other thing they do is they run a high on-ball screen. Parker Essery goes out and sets a high on-ball screen, then rolls to the basket. So far, Carroll has been able to sort of contain it, but it is really hard to guard. I mean, the way they destroyed Rocky Mountain and Western is with that high on-ball screen, so that's something for us to really watch for.
We're going to go ahead and take one more break, but when we come back, second half action here from the PE Center. Carroll leads 44-33 on Rewind 94.9. Daniel Sally, Gary Turcott here at the PE Center inside the Cochran Insurance broadcast booth, bringing you second half action here, Frontier Conference doubleheader, game 1 between Providence and Carroll here on your home for the Saints, Rewind 94.9. Carroll inbounding out of the break, 44-33. They lead by 11 on the Capital Collision Center scoreboard. Wagner takes up the court, goes inside to Denny, and Denny loses control, fumbles it out. It's stolen by Pemberton. Pemberton up the court quickly for the Argos. Argos now going right to left across your dial after the halftime switch. She swings it over to Maldonado. Providence works it around, gets it out to Randich. Open look from three by Randich, no good. Another rare miss from Randich. Hilborn gets the rebound. She'll get it up the floor for the Saints. She finds Swanek on the far wing. Swanek pump fakes, gets it to Denny. Denny drives, kicks it out to Wagner. Wagner working her way back up to the top of the key for the Saints. She goes to Swanek. Swanek on the wing. Inside, Danny Wagner posting up, a little turnaround, little left hook, knocking it down off the glass. Danny Wagner
right
showing
off the bat.
post.
Right off the bat, posting up Kirsten Pemberton. Danny Wagner, that's just a big size advantage.
46-33, the Saints in the lead by 13. Highest lead of the game for the Saints. Essery from the elbow gets it out. Randich takes a pull-up J, no good. Off the back iron, rebounded by Swanek. And the Saints have numbers in transition as Swanek gets it up, gets it to Denny. Denny thinks about the three, and when she decides to put it on the ground, a little extra stepping going on there, and that's a traveling violation. Saints will turn it over. 46-33, 8:43 left in the third quarter. Saints in the lead. Inbounding is Cartwright. It'll be Jenna Randich taking it up. He said Saints denying ball from Emily Maldonado off those inbounds. Cartwright, top of the key, works it into the elbow. Essery has it. Tries to take Toth off the dribble. Back to the basket. Spin move off the glass and good from Parker Essery. And it's back to an 11-point game, 46-35. Saints in the lead. Hilborn takes up the court. Works her way to the middle. Hilborn drives, picks up her dribble, kicks it out to Denny. Christine Denny gets a screen from Wagner. She works inside, kicks it out. Toth now has it. Toth out to Wagner. Wagner, nice little jab step. She drives, puts it up with her left, off the glass again. This time no good. Rebounded by Essery, and the Argos have it back. Maldonado up the court again, goes to Randich. Randich for three from the wing, off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Swanek. Nice break there for the Saints.
Boy, Randich had a great look there.
Swanek rifles it off. Hilborn, no look pass in transition. Denny wide open off the glass for two, and the Saints go back up to a 13-point lead, 48-35. Randich taking up the court again for the Argos. She gets a screen from Essery, gets by Swanek, finds Essery on a pick and roll, and Essery puts it up. And I believe they're going to say that foul on Swanek there, though I think they're going to say it was on the floor.
Yep.
So Providence will inbound from the baseline. That's a nice break there, because if these were the refs from last weekend, they were really flirting on the line of continuation and calling a lot of those. But nonetheless, the Providence will inbound. Essery gets it off the pass, posts up on Toth, little spin move, and that's
a big
an offensive foul.
Christine Denny, huge play. She came from the weak side and took the offensive charge on Essery, and that's her third foul. That's just a great defensive awareness by Christine.
I'll tell you, you're not going to find many players tougher than Christine Denny. Her and Jaden Lyman, probably two of the toughest you'll find in this conference, and they came in the same year. Those two have made an impact ever since they set foot on this campus. And
Coach Bill is not going to take her out.
No.
She's holding her nose. I wonder if her nose is bleeding. The referee's taking a look. No, she's just talking to him.
Yeah, Essery letting him know, you know.
But Coach Bill, I kind of agree with what he's doing. Without
it's now or never.
Yeah, without her, they're not gonna be competitive. I don't believe.
48-35 as the court gets mopped off over there. Saints in the lead, and Camden Hilborn will take it up the floor. And I like how Essery handled talking to the ref there about that call. She didn't yell. She worked her way back down the court, and during the dead ball, she just asked. She talked about the call. Swanek with it on the far corner. She gets it to Wagner. Wagner takes her dribble, goes back to Swanek. Swanek to Hilborn now. Hilborn finds Denny. Denny looks back door for Toth. Instead finds Hilborn open in the corner for three. Got it. Camden Hilborn, and she'll make you pay when you leave her open. 51-35. The Saints lead now up to 16 points here. 6:55 remaining in the third quarter. Randich takes it up the court. Goes to the wing to Maldonado. Maldonado on the dribble. Kicks it out. With it is Pemberton. Pemberton looks inside for Essery. Throws it long. Out of bounds. That's a turnover. Timeout called by Coach Himmelberg and the Argos. And they'll make that immediate timeout. So we'll go ahead and take a break for 60 seconds. Saints lead 51-35 here on Rewind 94.9. Back from the timeout, it's Daniel Sally here inside the Cochran Insurance broadcast booth, joined by the Hall of Famer, Coach Gary Turcotte, as the Saints lead 51-35 with 6:45 left in the third quarter here in Game 1 of the Frontier Conference doubleheader between the Saints and the Argos. Denny inbounds to Hilborn, and Hilborn will work it up the court to start the break for the Saints. Hilborn goes to Denny at the top of the key. Denny to Toth now. Toth on the elbow. Toth finds Swanek inside. Swanek pump fakes, goes up with it. He's stripped by Randich. Randich has it. She's off to the races. Randich works it to the wing. Hands it off to Pemberton. Pemberton kicks it out. Cartwright with it. Cartwright hands it back to Maldonado. Maldonado tries to get by Swanek and Denny, and that's a foul called on Sienna Swanek.
And Carroll was in a zone that time, and the Argos had nothing going, and just a silly foul. Bailed him out.
Pemberton will inbound.
And Carroll staying in their zone.
6:10 left in the third. Maldonado with it at the top. He goes inside Essery, goes up on top, puts it off the glass, and good.
Too easy.
Parker Essery with another bucket. She's now got 11, I believe, on the game. Correction, 10 points now for Assery. Hilborn works it up the wing, gets it to Wagner. Wagner, middle of the court, goes to Toth. Toth posts up, gets it off to Denny. Denny from the elbow, and she's got it. Christine Denny will not miss that shot if you give it to her. 53-37, the Saints lead. Good look for the Saints so far here in the second half. Those first 3 minutes proving very important for Coach Sayers and her team tonight. Pemberton goes to Maldonado. Maldonado swings it up top to Cartwright. Cartwright now to Randich. Randich is guarded by Swanek. She switched on to Denny. She gets it out to Maldonado again. Maldonado top of the key, and that's a push-off. Offensive foul on Maldonado. And Camden Hilborn, as she does best, setting those feet in front of it. She's such a good on-the-ball defender.
And she just took a charge man-on-man on the quickest player in the league. I mean, that is not easy to do. That's how good Camden is.
That's a passing of the torch. Camden Hilborn is now officially the quickest player in the league after that play. Hilborn takes it up the court for the Saints. She gives it off to Toth. Toth, top of the key, works it over to Denny. Denny near elbow, over to Wagner. Wagner tries to rifle one into Hilborn, and that one's stolen by Providence. Maldonado comes up with it, gives it to Randich, and Randich will take it up the court for Providence. Randich inside Essery, posting up on top. She goes up with it, pump fakes, puts it off the glass for two. Parker Essery's got two more, and that Saints leads back down to 14.
You can't let her get a catch there. There's just no chance you let her get a catch 2 feet from the basket. She's going to score every time.
Hilborn takes up the court, gets to Wagner. Wagner works in, gets it out to Toth. Toth to Denny, sets a screen for Denny, drives off the glass, and that one's getting Christine Denny going at Essery there.
Exactly.
Doesn't get the foul, but
exactly.
They got the right idea.
Very good, Daniel. Good observation.
55-39, Saints in the lead. 4:25 left in the third quarter. Maldonado picked up by Denny at the top of the key. Randich now, and that one's stolen. Nice front by Toth. She knocks it loose, and it's taken by the Saints. Hilborn comes up with it. She'll take the ball up the court now for Carroll. Hilborn gets Denny. Denny at the top of the key. Little crossover. She drives up the far side, and she is fouled by Pemberton. That'll be Pemberton's third foul. And another immediate timeout called, so we'll go ahead and take it with them. 55-39. Saints lead on the Capital Collision Center scoreboard. We're back in 60 seconds here on Rewind 94.9. Back from the timeout, Daniel Sally and Gary Turcotte here coming to you from the Cochran Insurance broadcast booth at the PE Center. Carroll leads 55-39 over Providence. And don't forget, for those of you listening, GoFundMe.com, search Jeff Shirley's Leukemia Battle. Jeff Shirley, one of the best dudes in all of Helena. Carroll grad, 4-time national championship football player, fighting leukemia in Seattle right now. Go support the cause. Garretts gets it off the inbounds, drives, puts up a shot. It's no good. It's rebounded by the Saints and put back in for 2 points. Nice job there by Taylor Salonen, cleaning up the glass and getting the 2 for the Saints. They now lead 57-39. 3:47 left in the third quarter. Randich takes it up to the top of the key, gets it over to Maldonado, and Maldonado will set up the offense. She goes back to Randich. With it now is White. White to Randich to the top of the key. She's guarded by Sloan, and Randich gets around. A good help deep by Garrett. She swats it out of bounds, and that'll go out of bounds. Last touched by the Saints, and Pemberton will check back in, give Randich a break, and Providence will inbound from the baseline.
Looked like Randich might have tweaked her knee a little bit on that last play.
She does wear that brace.
Yeah, she had ACL surgery on that knee.
5 seconds left on the shot clock. Essery gets the inbounds pass, guarded by Garrett to the top of the key. She steps through, puts one off the glass, and a foul called on Garrett. So Essery will go to the line to shoot 2 free throws.
Well, the Carroll post players, they've worked all week on trying to deny her catches. And when she touches it, you're in trouble. You just can't let her touch it. She's just that good.
Essery's first free throw is up and good, and don't forget, Carroll Basketball is brought to you in part by Furniture Showroom. Why pay more? Every day is a great day to buy new home furnishings at Furniture Showroom. Money Train Casino for the best happy hour and huge wins. All aboard the Money Train. And Overland Express Restaurant Lounge, your all-American family-style restaurant serving Helena since 1975. Free throws good from Essery, 57-41. The Saints have it back. 3:20 left in the third quarter. Danny Wagner works to the top of the key, takes the dribble on Hazard, step back, jumper off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Pemberton. Pemberton gets it up the floor, goes to the corner. Reed Hazard has it. She sends it all the way across the court to Maldonado. Maldonado picked up by Lyman, who's done a phenomenal job playing defense on her tonight when she's been in the game. Essery gets it, spin move. Oh, and it's a block called on Garrett. And I tell you, we were inches away there from that being Parker Essery's 4th foul. And that, I believe, will just be on the floor. It's Garrett's 3rd foul. And Maddie Garrett's playing a lot of minutes off the bench tonight. She'll get a break. Toth will check in along with McDermott. McDermott, Toth, Salonen, Lyman, and Wagner. A pretty tall lineup on the court for Coach Sayers. 2:57 left in the third, and the Saints in the driver's seat, 57-41. Cartwright will inbound from the baseline. Cartwright gets it inside. Quick one up from Essery. She's wide open, and that's good for 2.
Good execution, the out of bounds there by Coach Bill Hemmelberg. Nicely designed out of bounds play.
Jaden Lyman will take it up the court for the Saints. She dumps it off to Salonen. Salonen at the top of the key with it. Gets it to Wagner. Wagner takes her dribble and finds Toth. Toth on the elbow. Goes to McDermott. McDermott works her way to the middle and pulls it back out. 10 on the shot clock for the Saints. McDermott gets it to Salonen again. Salonen off the dribble, guarded by Cartwright. Spin move, floater, no good. Rebound Salonen off the glass, and what great work by Taylor Salonen to find 2 more points for the Saints. 59-43, they lead. Randich quickly up the court. She works it over to the top of the key, and the pass is knocked loose by Lyman. Lyman takes a hard fall, grimacing in pain on the ground.
Hazard caught her with an elbow, unintentionally.
Wind knocked out of her.
Really, she takes a beating. She plays so hard. She is the most courageous girl.
Saints come up with the steal, and Lyman getting her breath back as she takes it up the court. She goes to Salonen at the top of the key. Salonen to McDermott now. McDermott takes a jab step. Now posts up on Randich from the elbow. Works her way inside. Gets it out to Wagner. Wagner for 3. It's blocked by Cartwright. Tipped around. Randich comes up with it. Randich outlet to Cartwright. Cartwright drives pull-up jumper in transition. That's not a very good look, but she gets her own rebound off the back iron and gets it out to Pemberton. She'll go back to Cartwright and set up the offense. Cartwright, long pass to the corner to Randich. Argos continue to swing it around. It's Cartwright again. She drives, blocked by Toth. They'll get a foul on some body contact there. And Cartwright, I believe, will be going to the line after the foul on Taylor Salonen. 1:27 left here in the quarter. Hilborn will check in and give Lyman a break. And I think Lyman's going to be all right.
Yeah, I think she got the wind knocked out of her.
Oh, you tell when she's in between dribbles, kind of putting her hand on her stomach, kind of.
The trainer's taking her in right now to take a look at her.
First free throw up from Cartwright, and that's no good. Cartwright, a very unorthodox free throw stroke. She shoots with one. Normally, you do the primary shooting with the one hand, but she doesn't really use her guide hand. She just kind of pulls it back and flicks it.
That is unusual.
But her first one's no good, and her second one's good. So the Saints lead is now at 15, 59-44 with a minute 25 in the third quarter. Saints outscoring Providence 15-10 here in the third. Taking it up is Hilborn. Hilborn goes to McDermott on the wing, back to Hilborn at the top of the key. Hilborn works her way to the wing, gives it off to Wagner. Wagner gets a screen from Toth. She picks up her dribble, gets to McDermott. 10 on the shot clock for the Saints. Hilborn has it on Maldonado. Nice screen from Toth. Hilborn drives around the side of the key, puts it up, and her shot is blocked.
That is the same call that they gave to Argos. That's that little scoop shot and a lot of contact. Just all you ask is be consistent, guys. And we got a no call on that one.
Camden Hilborn looks to inbound. She can't find McDermott cutting. She finds Wagner in the corner. Shot up, and that one's good. Danny Wagner, and I believe that's a long two, but a nice bucket there for the junior from Havre. Wagner with 16 points now, and she's leading all scorers. Here's a drive on the other end by the Argos. Pulling it back is Providence.
Oh, nice defense, Emerald Toth.
Hazard tries to get the entry pass.
Nice defense,
and
Emerald.
Toth just swipes it out of midair. Saints have it back. 23 on the shot clock, 35 on the game clock. Hilborn up the court. She hands it off to Wagner. Saints in the driver's seat looking to add to this 17-point lead. Wagner at the top of the key. She takes it off the dribble, drives up with her right off the glass. No good. And that's rebounded by Esri. And Providence now will have a chance to get another bucket. 20 seconds left in the third quarter. Hazard gets it out. Randich open look from three.
Ooh.
Off the rim, no good. Long rebound tipped by Cartwright. With it is Hazard, and Hazard throws it off of Toph's leg. It'll go out of bounds. And Providence, with 11 seconds left, will have a chance as they inbound, down 17. Inbounding is Cartwright. Cartwright gets it into Assery. Assery back to Cartwright, who takes the quick three. No good. Rebound, Hilborn. Saints got 6 seconds. Hilborn will push the tempo up the court. She drives out to Wagner. Open look for three from Wagner. Off the rim, no good. And that'll do it for the third quarter. 61-44. Saints lead on the Capital Collision Center scoreboard. Fourth quarter action coming up next here on Your Home for the Saints. Rewind 94.9 and KCAP.com. (61-44) Saints in the driver's seat on the Capital Collision Center scoreboard as we get ready for fourth quarter action here. I'm Daniel Sally, and I'm joined to my left by Coach Gary Turcotte here inside the Cochran Insurance broadcast booth at the PE Center. And what's been a phenomenal ball game for the Saints so far, playing their best ball of the season right now, and they really just blitzed them in that third quarter.
Well, you know, they really did. That was one of their best quarters. You know what shocks me, Daniel? Emily Maldonado, who was picked to be the preseason player of the year, I don't think she scored.
She's got 0 points, 0 for 3 from the field.
Yeah, unbelievable defense being played by Carroll.
Hilborn and Lyman putting her on the clamps. Yeah. Taking up the court out of the timeout is Providence. Cartwright drives, puts up a shot. It's blocked by the Saints, rebounded by Hilborn, and Hilborn will get it up the court quickly for Carroll. Hilborn, middle court, she drives, spin move, puts it up, kicks it out to McDermott. McDermott for three, no good. Rebound by Denny. She tries to save it from going out of bounds. Ends up in the hands of Kennedy Cartwright. Cartwright off to the races for the Argos. She goes to the wing. With it is Pemberton. Pemberton to Maldonado. Maldonado top of the key, and that should be another offensive foul on Maldonado. Hilborn, the way she can get in front of her, in front of the person she's guarding and take those charges, it's an art.
It's just an amazing, she's just one of the most fun girls I've ever watched play basketball.
She's so talented.
The little things that she does to help her team win.
No wonder why Coach Sayers wanted to bring her in this year, and she's been such a nice addition for this team. Garrett's gets it out to Hilborn at the top of the key. Hilborn off to Denny. Denny thinks about the three. She's instead drives, spin move, fade away. Oh, and she can't get the roll. It rolls right in and right out, and what a move to get to the hoop by Denny there. The spin move, excellent, but can't get the shot to fall, and a frustration foul on Denny after the rebound, so it'll be Providence basketball. First team foul on the Saints there for the fourth quarter, and third personal on Denny. Pemberton will take it up the court for the Argos. Near wing, here she is. Gets the screen, gets it over to Randage. Randage on the wing. Essery, spin move off the glass, and that one is good. Nice move there by Parker Essery. 61-46. Providence cuts it back down to 15. 8:41 left in the ball game. Camden Hilborn picks up her dribble, goes to Garrett's. Garrett's on the wing. She takes the dribble, gets it off to Madsen. Madsen playing some good minutes off the bench tonight for the Saints. Passes it off to Hilborn. Hilborn to Garrett's. Garrett's top of the key, guarded by Essery. She takes the three off the rim, no good. No, I don't blame her. Maddie Garrett's shooting well from three as of late.
That's the first three she's taken tonight, but we've seen her make them.
Pemberton inside Essery, rips it out to Randage, back into Essery now. Essery's double team, gets it out to Pemberton. Pemberton pump fakes, makes Denny miss, puts up a pull-up J, and knocks it down. It's a long two, good for Pemberton, and it's 61-48. Saints still in the lead. Hilborn takes it up, fakes the handoff to Madsen, and they're going to call her for a carry there. And she had them fooled.
Yeah.
She had an open look for the layup, but getting that hand underneath as she tried to hand it off. Timeout called on the court, so we'll take one as well. 61-48, the Saints in the lead. Final 8 minutes when we come back here on Rewind 94.9 and KCAP.com.
Oh, my goodness.
Back from the timeout, it's Daniel Sally here inside the Cochran Insurance booth at the PE Center, joined by Coach Gary Turcotte as the Saints lead 61-48. Providence inbounds it after the break, and Emily Maldonado will take it up the court. Picked up by Wagner on the switch. She drives baseline and loses control. It almost goes out of bounds. She kicks it out now. They go back over the top to Essery. Essery puts it off the glass. Good, or no good, excuse me. Gets her own rebound, puts up another one, and that one's good. So Essery cuts it down to an 11-point game. She's got 18 points.
She's just a phenomenal player.
Lyman gets it up, running point, goes to Denny. Denny on the wing with it. Denny drives, puts her back to the basket, picks up her dribble, gets it out to Lyman. 13 on the shot clock for the Saints. Lyman to Wagner now. Wagner takes it off the dribble, guarded by Pemberton. She picks it up, goes to Swanwick. 5 on the shot clock. Swanwick pump fakes, thinks about the deep three. Now she's got to hurry. 2 on the shot clock. She drives in, elbow jumper. And she gets the roll. Sienna Swanwick, how about it?
Great poise by Sienna. Just clock understanding, poise, understanding what she wants to get.
Second time tonight she's had a big shot at the end of the shot clock. That pass is stolen by Lyman. She's off to the races, off the glass, and a quick 4 points for the Saints as Lyman gets the quick steal and quick bucket. 65-50, that 11-point lead is back to 15 for the Saints. Randich on the wing. She drives, kicks, three-pointer up from Cartwright, and that one is knocked down. And Coach Himmelberg is going to call a 30-second timeout. And this one we're going to go ahead and keep right here. Give us a chance to talk about this game a little bit. 65-53, the Saints in the lead. 6.5 minutes left, and Coach Turcotte, the Argos will not go quietly into the nighttime.
Well, now there's 6 minutes, 35 seconds left. The Argos are down 12. Coach Bill called timeout. I wonder if he will press. They're not very deep, especially with Bailey Cartwright out. I would think he has to try to press some, try to get a turnover, get an easy bucket here and there. I don't know if they can grind it out against this Carroll team, but we'll see what he does here. No, they're not. They're dropping back. They're going to pick up at half court.
Both teams are back from the timeout quickly. 65-53. The Saints lead by 12. 6:36 left in the ball game. Jaden Lyman will take it up the floor for the Saints. 25 on the shot clock. Lyman working her way up to Maldonado at the top of the key. She gets it over to Salonen. Salonen working at the free throw line. Goes inside. Wagner posting up, pulling it back out now. 15 on the shot clock. Swanek goes up to the top to Lyman. Lyman now to Salonen. She has it. Inside they go to Swanek again. Swanek posts up. She's double teamed now. She loses control. 4 on the shot clock. Fade away from Swanek. No good. Nice defense there by the Argos as they get the rebound back. Maldonado rifles one in transition to Pemberton. She goes up with it and one. Blocking foul called on Lyman.
Great shot by Pemberton.
Pemberton making a difference.
Yeah.
Getting the start tonight.
Parker Essery is playing better defense than I've ever seen her play. She's more fit, Daniel, than she's ever been in her career, I think. And she's doing a great job of sagging off and taking away Carroll's post-up game.
Pemberton's free throw is no good. It's rebounded by Denny. Denny will take it up the court herself. She hands it back to Lyman, and Lyman calls the play for the Saints. 10-point lead for Carroll, 65-55 on the Capital Collision Center scoreboard. Taylor Salonen at the top of the key. Takes her dribble, gets it off to Lyman. Lyman gets it over to Swanek now. Swanek on the wing. He takes her dribble, gets it inside. Denny posts up, spin move, looks for Salonen. That one's stolen by the Argos. Getting it is Randich, and Randich will lead the charge back to the other end as she goes to the wing. With it now is Pemberton. Pemberton looks to drive, picks up her dribble, kicks it out to Randich now. 17 seconds on the shot clock. Over to Cartwright. Cartwright's three, no good. Rebounded by Lyman as she swipes it under from Essery. Lyman leading the charge for the Saints offense. 5 minutes, 10 seconds
Good defense,
left.
Taylor Salonen that time. They really wanted to go into Parker. Taylor just beat her to the spot every time.
Speaking of Taylor Salonen, she takes the three on the other end. That one is no good off the side of the rim, and it's rebounded by Pemberton. Pemberton playing some valuable minutes down the stretch here for the Argos as she works her way up the court. Near wing, she passes it off to Randich. Randich now to Essery. Essery on the elbow. She's guarded by Salonen. She takes her off the dribble. Essery goes up with it. Nice defense by Salonen. Long rebound, though, is brought down by Cartwright. Cartwright looks for Randich. Randich for three. Off the rim, no good, and Randich has gone cold. Ever since those first 7 points, she's now got, I believe, 9. Yes, 9 points, but those have all been in the first half,
Yeah.
and seven of them were in the first quarter.
She's had some awfully good looks that she's missed.
Lyman up the court, goes to Denny. Denny on the wing, now to Wagner. Wagner from the free throw line drives,
Oh,
goes
gotta
up with
be
it.
a
It's
foul.
knocked loose by Pemberton, and they'll say it's taken away by Maldonado. Maldonado to the far wing. She drives in, spin move, goes up with it, and that's a blocking foul on the Saints. I believe Lyman will get called for that one. As they call that foul, don't forget Carol Bassel is brought to you by Eagle Tire and Auto Service. Understanding customer needs yesterday, today, and every day across from Eagle Lube Express on North Montana. Mattress Firm, Montana's largest Tempur-Pedic retailer where it's easy to get a great night's sleep. And D.A. Davidson and Company, believing in hands-on investing in students and financial education each year since 1985. Inbounding is Providence. Randich has it. She loses control, goes out of bounds. Little miscommunication there by Providence.
Yeah, I don't know how she turned that one over.
I think
that was a big turnover because they were on a little bit of a run there. If they would have scored there, that would have been single digits.
Now the Saints with plenty of time. 4 minutes left. They lead by 10 in the driver's seat. Lyman gets it up to Madsen. Emma Madsen at the top of the key. Now to Toth she goes. Backdoor cutting is Wagner. Nice dish by Toth. Wagner puts it off the glass, gives Toth the point. Little salute. Nice assist. And the Saints lead is back up to 12, 67-55. Now on the other end, Pemberton, deep three off the glass. No good. Almost got lucky there with the bang. Wagner swipes the rebound, gets it up the court quickly for the Saints. Lyman with it now. Calling the play. She goes to Toth. Toth up top. Toth looking for Madsen. Instead gets it over to Wagner. Wagner jab steps, thinks about the three. Instead goes to Lyman. She takes the three. That's off the rim. No good. Randitz tried to pull down the rebound, but right in her way was Pemberton. A little miscommunication there. She knocked it out of bounds, and the Saints will keep it.
I think Randitz is a little fatigued. She's played an awful lot of minutes. Argos aren't very deep. That's a couple of mistakes Randitz has made.
Jaden Lyman.
She's a very good player. She's had to play probably a little too much tonight.
Jaden Lyman looking inbound. She finds Wagner quickly. Wagner puts up a shot. No good. Hits off the leg of Cartwright. Goes out of bounds, and the Saints will keep it once again. 20 on the shot clock. They'll inbound from the baseline. Lyman looking to inbound. She finds Wagner. Wagner from the corner gets it over to Madsen at the top of the key. Madsen now to Swanek. Swanek goes over to Toth. Toth back to Wagner. Wagner with a jab step. She goes to Swanek again. Swanek for three. Yes, Sienna Swanek buries it. And a foul called. I believe that should be after the shot. That's on Emerald Toth.
Yeah, and he counted the bucket. He
Good.
did count the bucket. Yeah, he did.
Well, then I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
As long as we get those 3 points, because Sienna Swanek deserves those.
And Essery back in the ball game. Without her, they're just not the same. He doesn't want to rest her much, but he's got to rest her a little.
And you've talked about depth. Bench points right now. Carroll has 19, only 8 points off the bench for Providence. Maldonado takes it up the court, goes to Pemberton. Pemberton gets it back up to Maldonado. She takes a three wide open, and she knocks it down. Those are her first points of the ball game. And Coach Himmelberg will call a timeout. 30-second timeout. And we'll see if they extend this one. If not, yeah, it will be immediate timeout. We'll go ahead and take it. 70-58. We'll be back in 60 seconds here on Rewind 94.9. All right.
Oh, Danny Wagner.
Back from the break, Saints with it after the bucket. Danny Wagner with a nice little look there, quickly out of the timeout to put 2 more on the board for Carroll. Emerald Toth of the top of the key now as the Saints have it again. She gets it out to Madsen. Madsen gets it back up to Hilborn. Hilborn top of the key. Works it back to the wing. This time it's Swanek with it. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Swanek takes Cartwright off the dribble. Puts it up off a spin move. Up and under, no good. Emma Madsen with the offensive rebound. And the Saints, they got 12 offensive rebounds again. I believe that one might make it 13.
And that was a big rebound right there. That was a dagger.
10 seconds on the shot clock. Hilborn goes to Toth on the elbow. Out to Wagner for 3. And that's no good. Madsen saves it, but she steps on the line before she can do so. So it'll stay or go back to the Argos. Out of bounds off Carroll. But 72-58, I think the Saints are feeling pretty good with 1:21 left in the ball game.
Yeah, it's a couple of turnovers by the Argos when they had it cut down to 10 really hurt. They just couldn't afford those being down that far. But I think fatigue was a factor, Daniel. They're just not very deep, especially without their outstanding Bailey Cartwright player. And, fatigue was a factor in this ball game.
Taking it up the court is Reed Hazard, 1:15 left. Erica Nessen checking in the game, seeing her first action of the night. She's another freshman player to be excited about. Always the first one in the gym shooting on game day, and a very hard-working freshman. Jen Wilkinson and Maddie Garretts will come back in, and as they sub back into the game, don't forget Carroll Basketball is brought to you by HCO Indoor Shooting Range and Gun Store. Your state-of-the-art indoor shooting range offering 8 shooting lanes in a controlled atmosphere. Capital City Realty, when service matters, call on the home team. A1 Rentals, they've got the equipment you need for every project on Cedar Street next to Party Plus. And Gold Island Casino, the luck starts here. Garrett's on the other end working for the Saints. She gets it to Lyman. Lyman goes to Nesson. Nesson rips a pass over to Wilkinson. Wilkinson posting up in the corner, gets it back to the top to Lyman. Lyman takes the dribble, goes in, loses control, it hits out of bounds. Last touch by Providence. The Saints will keep it in inbound from the baseline with 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Inbounding the ball will be Lyman. Lyman gets to McDermott. McDermott works her way back to the top of the key, gets it to Wilkinson. Wilkinson rips it across the court. Lyman for three to beat the shot clock, and she knocks it down. And Coach Turcotte, we call that the dagger.
That was the dagger.
The nail in the coffin for the Saints, 75-58 with 35 seconds left. Here's the drive by Providence. Inside goes Brittany White. She puts one up, no good. McDermott tips it out. Getting the rebound is Jane Lyman. And with 25 seconds left, the Saints can just dribble this thing out. A nice hard-fought victory tonight by Coach Sayers and her team.
Yeah, it really was a nice win. The Argos played very well at times. It wasn't like they played poorly. Carroll just was a little better tonight.
They outplayed them in the second half. That's really what it came down to.
Yeah, that third quarter was big.
Well, this clock will make its way down 3, 2, 1, and that's a win for the Saints. 75-58, your final on the Capital Collision Center scoreboard. We're going to step aside, but when we come back, the Carroll postgame show, built by Builders First Source, will be joined by Rochelle Sayers to talk to her after a big win from her team. You're listening to Carroll College Basketball on Rewind 94.9 and KCAP.com. All right, I'm going to reset this, Kenny.